Greetings to the viewers of Give It to Azania Kasi podcast. My name is Vich. I will be driving this episode today with you. Today I've got a guest from ANC Youth League in the University of Limpopo. Those who didn't yet subscribe, please subscribe and like this video and then share the link with your friends and families. How are you, my brother?
I am well, my brother, and you?
Yeah, I'm okay, man.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming here.
It's an honor for me.
Yeah, no, please introduce yourself to the viewers.
Greetings to all of viewers of this podcast. My name is Ndumiso, surname Magagula, a student of the University of Limpopo under Men and Law, and I'm also the chairperson of ANC Youth League here on campus. I also have a credential of being a former BEC member of SASCO actually. So in terms of a tribe, I'm Swati, I'm from Pumalanga, that side of Nkomanzi, Chepis Reef. Yeah. So in terms of in terms of politics, I'm also I started at home actually. Yeah. So it's a Ward 32 at Nkomanzi. Yeah.
You didn't start here at university. You have been introduced to politics from home.
Yeah, at a very, very young age. I think I was still almost 16 years. Yeah.
Then what did you hold any position at home, or you were just the ground force and a volunteer of the ANC?
No, at home I was just an activist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just a volunteer at the African National Congress. So, but we led many struggles that side. So, because in terms of leading, it's not about having a position.
Sure.
Yeah, you can lead from the back.
Yeah.
Just that it has to do with your conscience in terms of what is it that you want for your people and what is it the people want for themselves. Yeah. And you must be able to make sure that you serve such to the people. Yeah.
And so now, since you have been here at the University of Limpopo, do you think the activism here are good compared to the activism at home?
For me, my brother, I think I find it very simple in this environment compared to the one of home, because here we're just dealing with the students, and there's nothing much complex about the students. There are issues, it's issues of bursaries, funding, academic issues, and to solve such issues, it doesn't need even something of a year or what, a day, 2 days, a week. Such issues are easily resolved, unlike at home. Because at home, you know, you are dealing with a real community there. You have old people with different beliefs, and who have been longly rooted in such. Sure. Yeah. So here the environment becomes very simple for me.
But here in Mpumalanga it's very dangerous in terms of political fights and everything like that.
Yeah, my brother, that side it's very much dangerous actually. But I think for us, as I say, that's why when we're in such an environment, it becomes very simple and easy for us.
Because we are from the West situation and condition.
We're from the West, because that side we've seen people losing their lives before us. So here there are no such threats and so on. So it becomes easy there.
So what is your fond memory when you were young, the childhood memories that you could say, I enjoyed this moment when I was young, and then this moment was very painful to me because of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. How was it when you were young?
Actually, when I was young, I grew up as someone who was busy with growing up in a village whereby the family is having goats, cows, cattle. So always each and every day we have to wake up. It's either you go to the farm, so you take the cattle, you had them. It was just a kind of such life, and I think I really enjoyed it because also it also I can say it contributed a lot in terms of the person I am today.
Sure.
Yeah, well, unlike growing up eating these things of boma purity, yeah, well, yeah. So there you just wake up in the morning, you go there, and you won't have a lunchbox or what. You'll see yourself there.
Sure, you will get the organic milk there.
Hey, there are fruits there in the forest and so on. So that's the life which taught us to survive in any situation. Yeah. So always able to navigate in whatever kind of a situation.
Yeah. So I heard you saying you are from management law. What is it that you are studying?
Yeah, I'm doing a Bachelor of Laws.
Yeah. LLB.
Yeah.
How difficult it is, because I hear people saying it's very difficult and complex degree and qualification.
I think in terms of studying, actually, I don't think there's a degree which I can agree to someone saying this one is easier than this, because at the end, all of them you have to study.
Sure.
So it just has to do with someone committing himself and giving yourself time. Because the only thing I noticed about this one, and in terms of the narrative of people saying the one which are saying we would die, LLB, it's difficult and what. No, it just needs time and commitment. You have to commit yourself. And everything is possible. And I've seen such, because academically I've been doing well. So I don't think it's that much difficult, but it's just you having to commit yourself and give it time.
So what pursued you to push or to be in this qualification? What has inspired you to be in this qualification?
As I've just given you a background of where I'm coming from.
Sure.
We've seen a lot of injustices actually in the routine in terms of our upbringings and also involvement in politics. Yeah, actually, the one of politics, I think it's the one which influenced me a lot. Because if you can see the past, which is the apartheid era, all those things which were happening, the injustices, they came as a result of legislations, the judiciary making all those judgments and so on. So I just sat down and also said no. And when we grew up, most of our friends, they want to be teachers, they want to do all those things, and I'm a person who likes to be unique and different at some point.
Advocating.
And I always like to represent the voiceless ones. That's why. So that's why I saw Goguta party. It can't be that we grew up together, me and my peers were all going to be teachers, doing the same thing. So. And I sat down and said, no, I had my friends, they want to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Sure.
And I mean, now I'm already involved in politics. I can see there are still issues which needs to be addressed jurisdically. So I had to choose something different. I think doing law will be something best for me. Because even in terms of law, it's not something one is going to practice. It's only about the court. No.
Sure.
There are many fields also, which also influenced me.
Because I can see even the likes of Minister Comrade Moela, he is holding LLB from Univen. President Ramathuba is holding LLB from this University of Limpopo. So I can see that as long as you are passionate about something, you can push.
And it's not just those only ones. There are many. There are many. I think even the likes of Nelson Mandela. They did.
But that one didn't finish. he has been a LLB student. He has never been a graduate.
Yeah, but it was due to the material conditions at that time. If it was a time like this, I think
he would have graduated.
Yeah. No. So I think it's all about such factors.
Yeah. No. Now I want us to let's engage on the issue of government of national unity. What are your thoughts about that? Are you happy with how they handled these negotiations?
Actually, as a member of the African National Congress Youth League, I think I'm very much the one of happy. Being happy, I think it's an understatement.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm very proud of the decision of our NEC of taking us to a government of a national unity. Because this is in terms of the ANC, it's a people's party.
Sure.
And it always serves the interest of the people.
Sure.
Where in that context, is that looking at the outcomes of the elections, that's where we see the interest of the people. The views of the people in terms of how do they want to be governed, the voters,
the election results.
So since now they decided not to give anyone a majority, but I'm also happy that they gave the ANC the one of being the largest party.
Sure.
Up to this far, even though we're not having the majority, but was still the largest party. So and also the one of national unity, I think it's fine in terms of bringing peace and stability. As you can see these days, it's quiet, man. It's quiet in terms of the political climate. You won't hear someone shouting what at each other. No, it's only substantial arguments there and there.
Sure.
So I think the one of national unity is going to give a stability.
So
in terms of the public.
What do you say about people in organizations such as your alliance, such as SACP, who says you could have taken a route of aligning with the left political parties like the EFF and the MK, as opposed to when you are reading the politics books and everything like that, you will hear that white people in South Africa, they are enemies.
I think looking at the values of the ANC, the ANC is a non-racial organization, first of all.
Sure.
So it's based on the fact that I think that looking at this thing of a government of national unity, they excluded the issue of race, first of all. So if you want to approach this thing with racism and what, I don't think you will do well. You will end well. So now the ANC took a route of saying no. In the government of national unity, the GNU, were open, were welcoming everyone.
To come and work.
Everyone who is willing is fine. So I don't think that one is something immaterial, because if those left-wing organizations, the MK and others, if they were serious about serving the interests of the people, which they claim to advocate for, they should have went there and said, no, we also want to represent our people, our voters.
We want to be part of this.
So if now the door is open and you decline the invitation, so it means it's your own baby to nurse.
Sure.
The ANC has been open to everyone, so I don't think it made a mistake there.
But what about people who says no, there will be ideological conflict? Like now the DA is against the minimum wage, it's against the NHI, it's against land expropriation, of which some ANC members still believe that the land should be expropriated, we should have a minimum wage, and then we must have an NHI. That says, even recently, yesterday I saw the article saying Minister Motswaledi, as the Minister of Health now, he wants to pursue that NHI policy.
I think in terms of, aside from politics, in terms of life, everything has advantages and disadvantages.
Sure.
So even this one of a government of a national unit, the GNU, it also has its own expected disadvantages. They're like the one that you're mentioning. It will be hard to implement policies and other things because you know that the parties have different views.
Sure.
Yeah, the political parties in terms of many things. So that's where we're going to have the problem or struggle. And also the one of that one also contributes to the factor of it in terms of lasting for the whole 5 years up until the next elections. But I think I deeply believe in our leadership. They will be able, since they were able to form this government of national unity, they will also find a way of navigating throughout those misunderstandings there and there.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's something that should be concern us the most. Yeah, but it's there. We're still going to face such things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we also seen this, I think, in 2008, 2009, I think there was a coalition in Zimbabwe and Kenya.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but what we took from that is the stability.
Sure.
After all. Because if you can look at such countries before those GNUs and or coalitions, they were very much there were many instabilities.
Sure.
Yeah, but after those coalitions and or government of national unity in those countries, things became better.
Sure.
Yeah. Everyone became calm because now they are accommodated in the government, some sort of. So.
Because now I want us to leave politics, but I wanted to really engage you in politics. But anyway, we will meet at some time at the. So, but now, then how was it in Mpumalanga when we were growing up around the issue of labels? You know, when we were young, we want Cavelas, we want Fabianas, and how the pressure is it in Mpumalanga, where you come from?
I don't think, but yet the pressure is there, but it's something of a nationwide, even worldwide, I can say that one, because that thing, it contributes a lot in terms of the separation of our social or economic classes.
Sure.
Yeah, because these clothings, they resemble a portion of some sort of wealthy people. They are meant for the wealth.
Sure.
Yeah, which means the poor cannot afford such.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it then creates the gap between the classes. It contributes a lot. And it also takes us back, because now we're trying to address those inequalities, economically, social, and so on, between the classes and races. So these labels and so on, they contribute a lot to such. And even also, you'll find other kids and so on being involved in crime, being involved in many reckless things.
Sure.
Just for them to be able to get money and afford these things.
Sure.
Yeah, so, and also these industries, I think some of them, they have been scandaled. Some of them, they are running away from paying tax, they are exploiting workers, and also they are not being proportional in terms of these prices.
Sure, yeah.
Because you cannot, it cannot cost you maybe 400 to produce this book.
Yeah.
Then when I sell it at 10,000. Yeah.
But it's not about the issue of material they use, the quality around that.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that this book costs you 400 rand for you to
print papers, cover,
everything.
Yeah.
The cost for you is 400. Then when I go out and sell this book at a price maybe of 5 times the one of the production cost.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with many of these brandings.
But remember what we have. The problem we have in the country is that if you wear something that is maybe less than 1,000 rand now, the sneaker, as guys, they will see you as something else. They will say, you don't know how to match, you missed they will lash you from time to time.
And that's also, it's a result of these things. Because as you can say, whenever it creates, as I've said recently, it creates the gap between the economic classes or social classes in our society. So if you are wearing this already, a sneaker maybe from, I cannot mention maybe names of shops or what, a sneaker maybe of 200 rand or 300 rand. Already someone treats you as a poor person, actually. But which is also a poor mentality, which should not be entertained or taken serious. Because I once lived with people whom I can say they are millionaires, actually. But you won't find those people wearing these things. I've lived with so many of them. You won't find this person saying, no, this month I want to buy this other sneaker costs 10,000 or what, no. But the thing, the person will just go get maybe a boot or what, 500, 400. He wears those things, it's fine, the person.
Don't you think it happens is just the result of us not having financial literacy as a subject at school? Don't you think is the result of such?
Yeah, I can agree with you. Well, because our people, they are not well informed in terms of handling their finances, especially if you can look at and also not only the one of financial handling their finances, and also to be able to withstand pressure. Because this thing is a result of pressure, actually. If you can look at our maybe let's say it's our artists. You'll find our artists want to spend a lot. They even move from their homes or villages. They want to go to the suburbs, live those costly life. But if the person is of someone who's well informed or who is well equipped in terms of financial literacy, the person will be able to say, no, the reason for me to go to Gauteng and live that costly life, I can just have my own studio here. And that one will also bring an opportunity to the people of your community. So I think that one, it costs a lot, because even after that, the people, they will be reckless in terms of handling their finances. Then after 5 years, a person is no more of that standard.
So as you are saying, you're the leadership in this university in terms of, is it Robert Mathebula branch or what?
The one of ANC Youth League, it's Foster Jean Maluleke. Yeah, Robert Mathebula, it's the one of SASCO.
There are two different branches. Okay, no, it's fine. Then now, tell me, what do you understand, and give me your thoughts on the LGBTQ community and the experiences that you had with that community.
I think in the environment that I grew up in, people of such nature never had a space, actually. So even according to our cultures and so on, our roots. But now, as an activist, as someone who is ready to represent the interests of each and every member of the society, and also according to the principles of the ANC of being a non-sexist organization. So I think these people, to me, they are also human beings. They are also, there's nothing wrong with them. As a member of the African National Congress, we see nothing wrong with them. instead they must be treated equal as everyone, because they are going through a lot each and every day.
Sure.
Yeah, they are part of the vulnerable portion of the society.
Sure.
Yeah.
So do you think in terms of our cultures and the church-wise, are we handling this community with care?
Not at all. Because in terms of culture, as Africans, we never had such.
Sure.
Yeah, we never had such. We don't have a traces of such. But in life, you have to adapt.
Sure.
As time goes on, you must also expect things to change. Yeah, well? So currently in this environment, these people, they are fit for being in this environment, or being accommodated or catered for.
So how best can we integrate this community to the society, to make sure that we inculcate our society to accept and adjust to the reality of this community?
I think this one, it needs as a law student also, before I give my response, it needs a lot of efforts or inputs in terms of the judiciary or the justice system. Because for everything, for the people to take it serious, there must be legislations there and there.
Sure.
And if maybe one is found to have violated this person or discriminated this person in terms of such circumstances, those people, I think there should be legislations that will harshly deal with those people.
Sure.
That's the first thing. And also we need to start from now educating the young ones, because this thing is still gonna continue as generations. And there's no way you can convince already someone who is 70 years old.
Sure.
But it needs us to start from the young ones to say, no, these are people, they are part of the society.
Sure.
You must not be shocked when someone is of this nature.
Sure.
I think from there we'll be able to deal with it, because to some members of our society, it won't just be something of a 1 day or 1 year, but you must expect it to take a very long run, or it's something of a long term.
Sure.
To say they will accept, but it's a process that will unfold gradually. So.
Sure.
So it needs time. And we must also be patient with our people for them to have that time to accept or come to the reality that these people now, they are there, they are members of our society, and we cannot kill them. We cannot say now we are sending you away because we are of this nature.
Sure.
No. Instead, we have to protect them and make sure we would in terms of their shortcomings, we're always there to assist there and there. Sure. And empower them.
So as a father, if your son comes and says, he approach you and say, my father, this is how I am, and then I want to be like this, and then this is how I feel. How are you going to handle that situation with your son?
I think it will be something, because whenever you get a child, it's a female or a male, you expect the person, maybe if it's a male, you already know, I have someone who will come after me, someone who will make sure that the family continues and so on. So it won't be something that can be easily acceptable, but due to the current circumstances, I think we have to.
Sure.
I'll have to accept. My son now is like this, and I have to accept the person. Because even if I can say I don't accept the person, I won't do anything.
Sure, it's your son.
I won't kill him. I won't throw him away, because I think I'll just have to accept.
Sure.
Even though it will be hard maybe at some point, but I'll have to come to the reality that no, this person is like this.
It's different.
Because according to my understanding, they say this thing is something from feelings and so on. So there's no way I can change a person's feelings.
Sure.
So I think it's something of that nature, they'll just have to accept.
Sure. So, can you tell us about your thoughts around absent fathers? What is your understanding about absent fathers? What drives them away? Or how best we can advance that? How best we can eradicate such? Because sometimes we overlook the fact that as young people, sometimes we are just the results of broken families, absent fathers, absent mothers. We don't have both of them. How best can we deal with this phenomenon?
That one, my brother, is very difficult. But I think even myself, I'm a product of such because I'm raised by a stepfather. But in a sense that I couldn't feel the absence of my biological father. Because but it becomes something very, very complex because I had friends who were not in there, who grew up in the hands of their mothers only. So the fathers were not there. And it becomes very difficult because if you can see, according to our history, especially in the context of a patriarchy, whereby the man must head the female, it also becomes very, very difficult even for the mother alone to be able to rule these kids. Even with themselves, when they grow up, they start not to have that much respect or feeling of parentalhood from the mother. So it becomes very, very difficult because now in nature, our parents, the mothers, they must be the ones to take care of the kids there and there. Imagine now the mother has to go to work, but which is something according to our democracy or freedom, they are allowed to do that. But let's say maybe this person had a will or wish to be a housewife and so on, wake up in the morning, prepare for kids to go to school and do those things. Now the person is no longer going to enjoy what she wanted, what she likes.
To nurture this kid.
Then now she'll have to leave these kids very early in the morning and come back late and spend only few hours, which means now these kids grow up without any parentalhood, without any hands that are going to guide them on their daily basis, because there's maybe only one parent, which is the mother, and the mother only comes back from work at 6 or 7 p.m.
Majority of them, they're already at bed and slept.
If they spend time, maybe it's 2 to 3 hours a day. Maybe if they have that time, maybe during her day offs and then there. So it means now these kids, they have a responsibility of nurturing themselves, which is something very difficult because they have no experience of life and they need someone who will be having this experience to say, no, if you touch this or do like this, these are going to be the consequences for the outcomes. So it becomes very difficult.
So it didn't affect you badly when you were growing up?
No. As I've just said to you that I didn't even feel the absence of my father. So, I don't think it affected me. Instead, it made me, I think, a better person and a stronger person. The way as I am currently.
So, do you know your father like now? Have you ever met him?
But I think it's only once. Not even to think. I met him only once. I think it was early 2022, around January.
You were already.
I was a grown man. So there's nothing. I have no hard feelings.
And then I wanted to go deep, but because you are a product of that, I don't want to be accused of being insensitive. But it's okay. Let's leave it like that. So, what do you think about the leadership of the new Premier of Limpopo, Phophi Ramathuba? I know you are an activist in your own rights. even outside the campus. And then now, since we introduced the program called Dikherekhere.
I think I'm very much happy with our premier in the Limpopo, in this province.
Sure.
Phophi. Because remember that she's the first female premier.
Sure.
Yeah, in the province, which also brings back the notion of saying women must be empowered, women must also occupy strategic positions.
Sure.
Yeah. I think
they must not be subjected to deputizing. And
sure. So I think this one is a very, very good initiative to such, and it creates a precedent of even for future.
Sure.
Because I know she has done well in the Department of Health. So I believe she's not going to fail as a premier of Limpopo. Instead, I expect her to become a cream of Limpopo.
Sure. Cream de la cream.
Yeah, I expect her, and I strongly have that belief. Beside from personal love and so on, but we've seen the work in terms of the Department of Health. Now I think if there are hospitals that lacks ambulances and so on, there are very few.
Sure.
Because I think it was last year or early this year
when
she provided about
500
or what
in Peter Mugaba Stadium.
Something like that. So that woman, she's someone who's very, very hardworking in terms of whenever she's given a responsibility.
Sure.
And also that I'm also proud of her because as the ANC Youth League, we are saying young people must also occupy equally as women.
Sure.
So she occupied that strategic position, and she also met us along the way as the ANC Youth League by bringing Tony Ratchwe, the provincial chair
of the Youth League.
As the MEC of Public Works. Which also, he's also someone who's hardworking. We've seen him in the Youth League.
With the program of Mahoshi, visiting
Mahoshi, what. And many things. Supported schools, churches. He has done a lot, that man.
Sure.
So we also believe in him. And I like it because we have things to point to. We've seen this person doing well in 1, 2, 3. Which even now it's not even a month or 2 months in office, but already is on the ground.
Sure.
There's a program of the Wednesdays, what. So which it was launched last week.
Sure.
So I think they are fit for governance.
Sure.
Actually. I think as the Youth League, we're very fine, we're doing well. And it's not only Tony, there are also other comrades of the Youth League who are also there in those strategic positions. So I think we're well represented.
Because I also saw, is it the regional secretary of Peter Mugaba region is also deployed in some committee in national parliament.
It's a comrade Samuel Moela.
He's very young. I think he's of our age.
He's also a product of this institution.
Oh, he graduated here.
So he's also someone whom we trust, we believe, we know him. Even on the regional level, as the ANC, like he's someone who's always available for his duties.
Sure.
So even himself, we're very much, actually, we're proud to have him as a member of parliament, and we were the ones who were pushing that as the Youth League to say, no, we want a comrade Sam as he's contesting, we're going to support him with everything he has. And he made it. Currently, we're calling him CR7. Because he came back as a number 7 in that list of
the national list.
It's a province to national. He came back as number 7.
Then
so
it's
CR7.
So then tell me, what do you think about this gender-based violence in the country? Because it's stressing everyone. It's happening almost every day. It doesn't matter how you sentence the perpetrators of this scourge or what. People will still do it, even tomorrow. Now there have been recent sentencing in Mugopane, but now even tomorrow you will hear someone have killed someone.
Yeah.
Someone killed his daughter or raped his daughter, his girlfriend and whatnot. How best can we deal with that, man?
I think that one needs a very, very divine intervention because it's something. It's a critical issue actually. Because now the issue of gender-based violence. Earlier on we were saying it's us males who are abusing these females, but now it has become a different thing because even the females. They do such things.
Sure.
Yeah. And, we also had a case recently, I think it's a few months back, in Mpumalanga. This other lady, I don't know it's acid or what, where she used it to brutalize that man. Yeah, she put that man with that thing of acid. You can no longer recognize who that person is a human being.
Sure.
Yeah, well? So now, but that one, in terms of dealing with it, I think it has to start at an early age.
Sure.
Early age, at the primary level, to say no, to teach our kids to accept each other, know each other, and love each other. Because this one is also a issue of morality. Yeah, people have lost their morals.
Sure.
Because we as males, the dominators of in terms of the perpetuators of this GBV. Men must understand that their rules in the society is to protect these women because physically they are not strong as we are. So our role is to protect them and provide them with necessary support whenever they need it. So these kids must start understanding such at an early age. And also it's a matter of acceptance, the level of acceptance in a person's life. Because if you look at deeply into this issue of GBV, it comes as a result of relationships. You find someone who so hategile or bamchitela when they go 1, 2, 3. But if someone has grown with that level of acceptance to say no, this is life, this has happened, the person has done me wrong, but still I'll be able to live, I won't die from here. You just accept that, then you move on with your life. I think we can have this thing as a past tense, the one of GBV.
It can be dealt with.
Yeah, it can be dealt with because now, as you said recently, that even if they can sentence someone with life sentence, what, each and every day. But I'm also proud of our judiciary because it brings that hope to us. We must also continue believing in it that as they always sentence these perpetrators. So I think as time goes on, people will regain their conscience. It will revisit them to say no, but what we're doing, because this thing, it does not just only affect the victim, but it also affects even the perpetrator. In the sense that, if when maybe now you do this thing, or you kill a woman, you abuse that particular person or what, and you're also going to lose your future. Because you'll get arrested in the process. And you won't be able to come back and survive as all the members of the society, because now you'll have restrictions. When now you once did this, you have a record of such, you have a criminal record, you can no longer participate there and there. It also affects that perpetrator.
So because the people who have been a sentence, who served their sentence in prison, they can't be employed at some stage. They can't be trusted by the society. They are leaving the kids fatherless or motherless, and then that affects the society in general as well.
Yes, and it also, in terms of that, it also contributes in terms of crime rates. You see, it's a crime giving birth to another crime.
Sure.
Because now you are a father or you are a mother, you are killing, you get to kill the other a partner. Yeah, well? Then in the process, the partner is no more. Yourself now you are in prison.
Sure.
The kids now have to be on their own. And you won't be able to provide for them, which means they have to provide for themselves.
Sure.
And even these days, families are no longer the same. They'll be able to take the kids and treat them the way they should be. But now the kids will have to say, even if now I'm here tertiary, but such situation happens at home.
Sure.
Now I'll have to go back, look at my younger brothers. I'll have to maybe deregister,
sure,
quit schooling. It comes with a lot of things.
Sure.
It comes with a very, very complex issues. Because in the process, I won't just go back home. I'll have to leave university, sure, go home to look after the young ones, sure, with nothing at hand.
Sure.
Which means when I get there, they will want food.
Yeah.
I'll have to make a plan, sure, of getting food. Then it's when even myself, I'm hungry.
It's when you are taking people on the street, just to make a living. Then the
crime continues. Yeah. It continues.
So then how best can we minimize the unemployment rate in the country? Because you know, sometimes we, as young people, we intend to celebrate the issue of internships, learnerships, of which they are not sustainable. Yeah. Even I heard the address of Premier Phophi Ramathuba saying that these contracts of EPWP, they are going to be 2 years and whatnot. But if you can tell, they are not sustainable.
Yeah, really, it's nothing at all. That's why as the ANC Youth League in the province, we've took a stand of saying what we want to do away with these things of EPWPs.
Sure.
Because it seems to us as something which is in a form of exploitation and disrespect actual. Because you cannot take someone, a parent, with 4 kids, take the person, you're going to pay the person 700 month end. Which means even myself alone, 700 is nothing for the whole month. What about someone who's having descendants?
Sure.
So in terms of the issue of unemployment, as the ANC Youth League in our 26th national conference, we took a resolution of saying as the country, we must industrialize.
Sure.
We must industrialize.
Sure.
Because in the sense of industrialization, it will assist a lot in terms of providing jobs for these people, not even merely young people. But it will assist each and every member of the society, the one of industrialization. Because if you can see, we have a lot of raw materials as a country. And we don't process those raw materials into finished goods. So that's our stand as the ANC Youth League to say, before we can say we're taking out these things, let us minimize exports and say, no, we are going to open a company, because I'll make an example of gold. We have a lot of gold in South Africa, but we don't refine gold. We don't have even a single gold refiner.
Sure.
We take gold to countries, refineries are overseas where there are no mines at all.
Sure.
People who don't know the taste of gold in their land. So that gold, you take it here, it goes that side, it becomes employment that side.
Sure.
So we must refine the gold here, employ our people.
Sure.
And also, we cannot just merely take timber, transport timber for others to make books and what, build what, structures. We must be the ones we must sell to them a finished jewelry, necklace or ring or whatsoever, or a book. If they want books, we're going to process the books here and sell them books, not the timber.
Sure, because I was surprised. We have timbers in the country, but we can't make benches, we can't make toothpicks.
A lot of things.
But we are people who are having the trees of timbers in the country.
We have a lot of these things, my brother. And so what we need, and for us to be able to do that, the state or the government must intervene and say, no, since we don't have, maybe let's say we don't have skilled people who are able to refine gold or what.
Sure.
Let us now empower these young people, take them here to those countries who are busy doing those manufacturing or processing all these raw materials, and say, no, these are our people. Since we now are giving you these raw materials, at least employ our people in the process.
Sure.
They employ our people, they train them, they come back with skills. We are able now to have our own base in terms of manufacturing these things on our own.
Sure.
And I think also on my own view, in terms of the issue of unemployment, is that our people are very much dependent on being employed by the government.
Sure.
But I think at this time, it's a critical time whereby one must have a conscience of saying we must be self-employed. Because there's a saying of saying this one of employment or a job is just a delay of your dreams.
Sure.
Instead, you are just assisting someone to achieve his goals or dreams faster than you.
Sure.
So our people must learn to open their own businesses, must be self-employed,
sure,
must have skills, but that one also needs the intervention of our government.
Sure.
Because if you are going to look at the countries like, let's say it's China, China is all over the world.
Sure.
It's one of the best economies of the world.
Yeah.
But those Chinese people, they are all over, especially in Africa. There's no country where you will go and not find a Chinese,
sure,
Chinese person.
Yeah.
And they are here, those people, they are, it's jobs for them.
Sure.
They take those profits they make back to their countries.
Sure.
Yeah, which is the same strategy we must apply as a country to say, no, we must take these young people. We have countries like Russia, the likes of China,
sure,
the ones of BRICS, Brazil and what.
Sure.
We must take these young people through a state intervention and say, you young people, now we are going to take 500 young people and make sure that they go to China, they practice some sort of skills, or if they have skills, they go to China, they want to open companies or what.
Sure.
The state assists those people. Yeah, like, because if you are going to look at there are brands like Toyota,
sure,
from Japan. Those things are not things we would individually just woke up one day and say, no, I'm doing this, what.
The
state intervened and said, no, we're going to safeguard this thing. We can see it has a
potential.
It has a potential. We're going to safeguard this thing, develop market for it, and mold this thing. So it did very well.
Sure.
And still, as a country, if we can do that and invest in our people, I think we can go far.
Sure.
In terms of the issue of employment. We take these young people to the other countries. We provide them with shelter, we provide them with everything up until they are stable, they are fit enough to stand on their own. We come back, we take others. So that's what we must do. And also our people have this tendency of undermining the skills from colleges.
Yeah.
And I believe, I greatly believe that those are the skills we need the most as a country.
Sure.
We need the most because when you are an artisan or you are a welder, what,
sure,
you are able to not to wait for the government per se. If maybe you have a plan, someone comes and I have a problem of my butler there is not doing well, I want the butler proofs and so on.
Sure.
We are able to tell the person, no, go buy this material, I'll do this for you, you charge the person.
Yeah.
In that context, you are able to sustain yourself.
Because, recently I've been observing, in these media houses, or having the likes of JJ Tabane, who you will find him at NCA and also find him at Radio 702, same as, this girl, Clement Manyatelo, who is in SABC now, and then also at 702 radio station, Cathy Motlatlane, Newsroom Africa, and then also at Radio SAFM. It also go to Andres MP, Newsroom Africa, and also at, then how best can we deal with that? Because we have one person occupying two positions, and then we're also having the graduate of journalism, or having the graduates in media studies. How best can we deal with this issue?
I think that one, as a developing country, it's something which is very, very disadvantageous for us. Because I think, in simple words, I can just call it a greediness.
Sure.
Or a disease which must be cut off his head whenever it tries to appear.
Yeah.
So it's greediness because you cannot occupy two positions while we have millions of people who are not occupying anything. And that thing that, as you've just made an example of media houses, it does not happen only in media. Especially those who are in the strategic positions. You'll find someone being in governance as a director of what. The person is also owning a mine, the person is also doing what. He's a director somewhere, director this side. So why don't they just give others a chance? Even if maybe you invest, you can just invest. We would know, I want to open this thing, but I won't be part of it at any time. I'll just employ everyone, director, what, everything. You are giving others an opportunity. Because that only is only happening or fit or acceptable morally so in the developed countries, whereby now they have more jobs than the people. But here in South Africa, as a developing country, we have more people than job opportunities, which takes us to the point of being it morally unacceptable.
Because even now we have the doctors who will be having their own clinics, the private institution outside town, and then also working in government. And then when you go to government hospital, they will say, a doctor is not yet around, he will come around after 12 p.m. and then you say, where is she? Where is this doctor? Honey, the doctor is still practicing his private surgery there. You see, and then if, recently the medicine graduates were striking, then just imagine if that person abandoned the issue of government position and then he concentrated on his private surgery, and then the new graduates occupy the government position and vis-a-vis, then we would not be here.
It will be very much better. Because those are the things which also leads to these inadequate state institutions. Because now the patient comes to you in terms of the one of health you've just mentioned. The person comes to you, the person is ill. Now you'll have to give this person improper treatment, so that they lose hope in the state facility. So that now they are forced to go to their own
surgeries.
So it also comes with such complications, and also result in things like corruption. Because now at some point you'll have to take these things of the states, so that you can use them at their own benefit that side.
Or they will steal this medication this side, and then use them in their private facilities.
Because you cannot go to stock a Panado while the government has provided you with 5,000 Panados.
Sure.
Already you'll take 2.5 and leave 2.5 this side. You're selling that side, you're providing this side. You go to clinics, they tell you that there's no medication. You go to hospital, we don't have such treatment. It's only there in those private institutions of these greedy people.
So I want us to wrap up, but I cannot let you leave without talking about ORANIA. In Northern, is it Northern Cape? Northern Cape or Northwest?
You see, things, the issue of the Cape, it's something that it must not be allowed to find expression, actually. Because this thing, remember, you cannot have a state, a country within a country. This is not a river where you'll have what do they call these things, a valley within a valley, no. You cannot have a country within a country. Firstly, these people, it's the white one. We must not shy away from that one. And they cannot even do such from their motherland, where they are biologically from. You cannot now when I go to the Western countries and say, this is Europe, this is United States, this is what we want to have our own country within this country.
I was surprised that they also have their own currency.
Yes. But it's something that must be harshly dealt with, because this thing, it leads to a lot of things. If you can look at it in the context of two contexts, I'll make an example of the one of Palestine and also Israel and the one of mineral resources. Because where they are, these people, especially the Cape, that side is a very, very strategic side in terms of our economy. Because those people, let's say now they are taking the whole Cape. And remember that one, it's one of our economic zones, biggest economic zones as a country.
After how you are speaking about Cape independence.
And those things, they'll be nothing. They are going to those economies there, that everything, there's fishing actually, which the Cape is mostly based on.
And then the grapes as well.
So now it's going to, they are going to occupy those all those things, and it's going to cost us as a country. And after taking those economies, these people, they are not of African origin, remember. So we are going to have things, situations like the ones of Palestine, whereby Israel, even the issue of Palestine and Israel, it started like this. Because Israel just started as a small dot in the whole page. Then now they started
expanding their borders.
And they gained a support from outside. They were being funded to say no. Because now, let's say as South Africa, we allow them, you can have that country within a country. Then they say, no, our population is growing. We want to extend our land. They come, they do that maybe by force or by only any other unlawful means. So, which means now we'll have to retaliate as a country. Then their alliances, which means now they must fund them for war.
The NATO and the US.
The USA now must create a military base there.
But US is having a military base in Botswana, are you aware?
Yes, in Botswana. But
you see that they were very vulnerable. Whatever that we do here, they can just attack us within 2 minutes.
But it's better for that 2 minutes than to have them here within our country, because that one reduces that 2 minutes to 30 seconds.
Sure. Yeah.
So it will give us a problem. We are going to have a very, there's no way we're going to end up like a Palestine and Israel. So we must not allow such at all. It's not possible, really. Sure. Even in their own countries, as I've just said that, they cannot do such. So why are they doing this to a foreign country?
Sure.
Though according to our democracy now they belong here.
Yeah.
But the reality of the matter is that they are not of a origin in this land.
Origin.
And they want to perpetrate this thing of a segregation. Sure. Actually this thing is a racism in mere fact. Sure. They don't want to associate themselves with the other races. Sure. They want only their race alone, which is not going to happen. And I think in the perspective of the ANC Youth League, we are not ready to allow such to take place. Sure. They can never have that country within the country. They are fine like that, maybe as a town, but if people feel like going there and occupying that land, staying, be part of them, that must happen. Our people should not be prohibited. Sure. Because in South Africa, we are allowed to stay everywhere. Sure. It's not, they cannot bring back that Land Act of the 1950s. Sure. To say, no, this group must stay this side, this one must stay this side. No. Now we must occupy everywhere. If it was, if things were on my side, I was going to go there if I had money and stay with them there.
They will kill you. They will kill you. They won't even entertain you.
Yeah, but I'm just making an example of how I feel.
Sure, you will just go there and then stretch their legs and see what will happen.
Because that's what we must do. We must force our people, we must encourage our people to say no, you must go for part. If you feel like. Because this one is, we're living in an era of freedom.
No, my brother, I want to take this opportunity and appreciate you, and then appreciate your time to come and visit this podcast. And I'm really humble. I thought, when you are a chairperson of the branch, you are always busy, but you made your time to be available to this podcast. Yeah. And then I'm not taking that for granted. I really appreciate you. And then what message can you say to the student of this institution and also for young people, the last message?
Firstly, my brother, I'm also glad, and it's a pleasure for me to share my views with you in this podcast. Sure. Firstly, for the students, I would like to say academically, we had others now who are still frustrated from, we remember we just opened now. Sure. So others are still frustrated from what their previous examinations result. So I think from there, now they must start taking their academics very serious. Sure. And also congratulate those ones who did well. And that they must not be afraid to reach out to us. Sure. Whenever there are issues, especially here in terms of the campus. Sure. Yes, even of campus, there are issues who are affecting students, and we always attend to them, even the ones of community. Sure. So everyone is welcome, is free to come to us, and we are very much ready to serve our people actually. Sure. So we always have time. When it's time for our people, we are always free. So I think I don't have much to say, but we are always with them, even in spirit, even in our dreams. Sure. Yeah, we dream about them. Yeah. The future of this country. Yes. Thank you very much, my brother. And then thank you very much for watching this podcast. And then I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for your energy. I'm signing out. Thank you.